Brandon Stanton is the street photographer turned culture spotter behind the blog Humans of New York. His photos have been called capsules of a moment in time and are being imitated all over the world. He is on Time's 30 Under 30 World Changers list. Brandon.
Hi.
Your blog, Humans of New York, turned into a book, 1 week on sale, and you hit the New York Times bestseller list. You're 29 years old. What is the first thing that you think when you're on the New York Times bestseller list at 29?
You know, when I got the call, I wasn't expecting it at all. So it's more of an outpouring of emotion than it was any kind of, structured thoughts.
You've had a really interesting path to get to where you are. In 2010, you were laid off as a Chicago bond trader.
Right.
And the next thing you know, you're a huge success in New York City.
Not the next thing.
Walk me through the winding.
So I lost my job. I'd only been photographing for a couple months. It was just kind of a hobby. And, I lost my job and I was in finance. And I kind of had this moment of realization that, the last 3 years of my life, I'd really kind of been, organizing all my thought, energy, and all my time around making money. And so I wanted to do something that absolutely had nothing to do with money. And I knew I enjoyed photographing. And so I said, I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to travel around and I'm going to photograph. I'm a very obsessive person. It's benefited me. I don't view that as a negative thing. But, every time I decided I want to do something, I just do it. And that was photography at first. And so, the very early success of the blog was built on just kind of obsession with photography. And then kind of as the obsession died down, my audience was growing. And then it turned into devotion.
So you've taken more than 5,000 portraits.
Right.
Who has stuck with you the most?
This one woman, 80-year-old woman, that I ran into just south of Central Park. And she had this very bright umbrella, and it was pouring down rain. Context is important in this story. It's pouring down rain. I don't have an umbrella. And so this very old woman comes walking towards me, and I take her photograph, and I get under the umbrella with her. And I said, if you could give me one piece of advice, what would it be? And the rain's coming down, and she had this raspy voice like the narrator from the Titanic, and she said, I'll tell you what my husband told me when he was dying. I said, Mo, how am I going to live without you? And he said, take the love you have for me and spread it around. Isn't that beautiful? I kind of find that, any experience I'm going through in my life at this time, I can look back and I can say, there's somebody I talked to on the street that was going through the same thing. So, memories of these interactions are always popping up contextually.
Do you live your life by any motto, or is there anything that runs through your head walking down the street?
So many people want to share their philosophies and share their opinions, and I'm just like, I kind of rebel against that. And it's just like, what? I just want to work hard. I just want to work hard and kind of let the work speak for itself. So, I try not to form these overarching philosophies about what Honey's about. What is it contributing to the world? What's the meaning behind the work? Why am I doing it? I'm doing it because I love it. Other people seem to enjoy it, and I want to get better at it. And if there's meaning in the work, let that come out organically.
What advice would you give to people who find themselves laid off?
On a broader sense, it all comes down to work. I've spent so much time trying to give people advice, and then it's just like, it's got narrow. It's like, God dang it, just work. Just work, don't wait. Everybody's waiting until they have the perfect idea to start working, Just even if you have kind of an inkling of what you want to do, start moving towards it. And it's going to flesh itself out through the process of moving towards the goal. And by the time you get to where you're going to be, it's not going to look anything like it did when you sat on the couch thinking about it. And if you wait to get until it's perfect in your head before you get off the couch and start working on it, that's never going to happen.
Is photography the rest of your life?
There's this feeling, of having built up this audience, over this time period, and having them rely on you for daily content, in this case, photography. It's a very good feeling, but there's this feeling of being just attached to it, that if you stop, it'll dissipate. So, right now I can't imagine stopping photographing. Just taking these 2 million people that are looking at my work every day and saying, "Hey guys, thanks, it's been fun." It's definitely not something that's on the radar now.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you.